The phylogenetic system, it was discovered by Engler and Prantl in 1893. The classification system proposed on the basis of genetic and ancestral relationship are called as a phylogenetic systems. Basically, in these systems, the genetic and the ancestral relationships are taken into an account. The ancestral relationship that directly indicate that what are the evidences that is in the form of the paleontological evidences. It means that these systems based on the both characters, this directly indicate that the system that can directly reflect the light on the evolutionary descents. And this is the post-Darwinian system. It reflects the light on the genetic as well as the ancestral relationship. And this is the evolution point of view. What the evolution? The evolution that is nothing but the gradual changes that occurs in past, and how the today's form of the plant is arose from the past one. This is the evolution. Now in this system it is directly indicates, or this can directly focus on which type of the plant that can directly evolve from which type of the enter that plant. Means today's form of the plants are there. For example, the order Ranel's concern. It is the Magnolia's order concern. There is Ranel's order which has been kept in the enter that Angiosperm, that is first. Because the Ranel's order that has been considered as a primitive as well as a evolution, the primitive as well as the advanced. Because whatever the evidences that regarding with the enter that Ranel's order, the enter the evolutionary descent, they directly indicate there are the particular type of the enter that point, and this point that can directly give rise the idea regarding the phylogenetic system as such. The basic principle of this system is the evolutionary sequence. In this system, the Engler and Prantl give the identification of all known genera of plant from the algae and the angiosperm. Right from the algae up to the angiosperm. In between the algae and the angiosperm, there are the algae, fungi, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, and then angiosperm, as well as within the angiosperm, there is a particular type of the enter the dicot and monocot as such. Now, the merits of the Engler and Prantl system, the chief merit of this system lies in the classification of the entire plant kingdom into bacteria, algae, fungi, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm, and algae. So this is the best and the main important or main merits of this system, which can directly indicate that the system has been directly focused on right from bacteria up to the entire the angiosperm, dicot, and monocot. The plant groups are arranged according to the evolutionary affinities as the system is phylogenetic. The system is phylogenetic. It means that they enter the evolutionary descent as well as the particular type of the character regarding the enter the paleontological evidences or the ancestral view point of view. It is the phylogenetic systems, and that is why it is the evolutionary affinities should be there. Whatever the similarities regarding the enter that evolution point of view, that is to be taken into an account. This is also one of the merits of Engler and Prantl system. But position of Orchidaceae at the end of monocot is accurate as it is the most evolved from the monocot. Yes, it is right. The Orchidaceae has a wide range of the enter that colored flower. The members of the orchids which are having the colored flowers, while that of the enter that in monocot there was no any type of the enter that colored flower beside the particular type of the enter that lily that such concern. Whatever the flowers which are so made conspicuously small, that is in monocot also, especially in the poaceae, in the gramineae, and that is why the position of orchid, it is at the end of monocot. Yes, it is right, because it is advanced condition. Advanced condition, it means that as far as the color of flower concern, it is bright in color, so that the insect can attract, and that can play very important role as far as the pollination concern, especially the entomophilous pollination takes place in the colored bracteope or the colors of flowers of the particular type of the members of angiosperm. Now the umbelliferae is placed on the top of the subclass Archiclamidae. Yes, it is the umbrella fairy. It is the first placed at the top because it is having some primitive character as well as some advanced character as such. The anatomical data were taken into account for the consideration in the system of classification for the very first time. Yes, anatomical data. The anatomical data, it means that whether dicot or monocot that can be differentiated by the help of the particular type of vascular bundle in the form of the ring vascular bundle in dicot or the scattered vascular bundle in monocot, whatever the presence of vessels or absence of vessels which can directly differentiate the gymnosperm and angiosperm. This is the anatomical data that has been taken into an account for the purpose of the entire that phylogenetic system at first time. However, some limitations are also there, and the limitations that are in the form of the monocots are considered over dicot. Consider over dicot is not correct. Consider advanced dicot is not correct according to the modern evolutionary sequence. Second, that is the simplicity of flower is due to the reduction and not due to the primitiveness. Simplicity of the flower. It means that the flower is simple and flower is a conspicuous or the complex flower. The complex flower, it means that there is the aggregations of the particular type of the entire that are essential as well as non-essential roles. And this essential as well as non-essential role concern that form the complex. And the complexity that is the primitiveness, while the simple flower that is the advanced condition. But the simplicity, it is the not simplicity of the flower is not due to the reduction, but it is due to the entire that primitiveness as such concern. The system is not much practical purpose, right? If it can directly focus on the light, it can directly focus on the entire the evolutionary sequence. How we can get the evolution point of view, how we can get the particular type of the character that can have the ancestral or that can have the importance regarding the evolutionary so-called as the paleontological evidences. So it is not a good for the practical purpose for this purpose that's such concern. Next point that we are going to see the APJ system, that is the Angiosperm phylogeny group. The Angiosperm phylogeny group is an informal international group of systematic botanists and tried firstly to develop the knowledge of plant relationship toward the development of particular type of the plants. So it is the informal systems. So it is the informal systems and this informal group that has been directly formed and that formed the Angiosperm phylogeny group. The Angiosperm phylogeny group is the informal system, no doubt, but that can directly focus on the relationship toward the development of molecular systems of classification. Nowadays, the molecular systems of classification is directly indicated that this is the modern taxonomy. The cell molecular level, it is the modern taxonomy. Up to the entire that primitive condition and the advanced condition, then some embryological data, some paleological data, some anatomical data, that was up to the entire that classical taxonomy. But whenever they enter that system that can directly focus on the molecular data, this is the modern taxonomy. And this group come together, the people come together and they form the informal organization. And this informal organization, that is nothing, the informal organizations of the botany, that is the APJ system. The first attempt was made in 1998 and developed the system called APJ1. Then again it has been revised in 2003 as APJ second. Then again fourth version that has been released in 2016 as APJ fourth. The attempt was made to recognize the monophyletic group based on the disciplines of biological science and more strongly on molecular data. Now, what was the aim to form such type of the APJ system, that is the Angiosperm phylogeny group system? The aim that was considered, so what type of the data that should be taken into an account to describe the plant, to identify the plant that can directly give the idea regarding the classification. The one thing that we should keep in mind, that whatever the data systematics as such concern regarding the angiosperm, whatever the data that has been collected at first time, that was the anatomical data, paleontological data, morphological data, this was the data which was taken into account for the classical taxonomy. But whatever the entire the difficulty encountered at the time of the entire that identification regarding the particular type of the plant in particular group, and that's why to solve this problem, the botanists have come together to form the informal group, and this informal group, the attempt that has been recognized or the attempt that has been made to form a monophyletic group of the angiosperm as such, based on the disciplines of the biological science. Whatever the attempt that has been made by them to form a monophyletic group, but this monophyletic group that was basically on the entire that the biological science, disciplines of biological science. It may be the anatomy, it may be the physiology, it may be the ecology, it may be the cytology, and what rather than these, the molecular data that has been taken into account as such regarding the APJ4. The APJ4 recognized 64 orders and 416 families, of which 259 families are represented in India. In APJ4, the angiosperms are classified into three clades, that is the groups, that is early angiosperm, monocot and eudicot. The early angiosperms that can directly give the idea regarding the entire whatever the members regarding the angiosperm as well as the primitive angiosperm. Then monocot, members of the monocot, that is having the single cotyledons, and the eudicot, that is basically it is a dicot, but it was referred as the eudicot at first, which has a dicotyledonous skin, that is the seeds with double cotyledon, and leaves are reticulate venated. So this was regarding the idea regarding the APJ system as such.